Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone inside of those categories or outside of those categories, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night. Welcome to Lauren's 8-Minute Legs, hashtag Lauren's 8-Minute Legs. We are going to harken back to the good old days of 1980s and 1990s aerobics classes, and we're going to do a little floor routine that makes me think of that wonderful era in fitness. I'd love to hear from you if you were one of those people. I certainly was. Okay, so we're doing everything on the floor today, so really you just need a mat and option to add a little resistance band if you've got, especially if you've got one of these circles. I think it's also called a hip circle, so continuous. I'll demo some stuff with that. If you don't have it, never fear, not required. And option to use a weight for one of the exercises as well. So what are these exercises? Well, we have 4. Our first exercise is going to be a standard leg lift. Second exercise is an adductor, so inner thigh leg lift. Number 3, we're going to be doing banded clamshells or weighted clamshells or regular clamshells. I'll show you those 3 options. And number 4, we are doing a glute bridge and a couple different options for those as well. So let me demo the exercises before we get into it. So number 1, lying on your side. Now you can drop on the elbow. If you do so, make sure you're rising up tall so you're not sinking down, or you can just lie down on the floor. And I just have my arm extended and I have my ear resting on my shoulder. Make sure my hips are stacked on top of each other and my feet are also stacked, ankle on top of ankle. And I have my feet essentially flexed, not pointing, flexed. And for this one, standard leg lift, you can either put the hand up on the hip or rest it gently in front of you. And we're just going to come up with that foot flexed and down. Up, and you're squeezing right here. So this is combining the glute medius and also the abductor, A-B-D. Ab means pulling away from the midline of your body. We're just doing a standard leg lift. And halfway, we'll switch. And then because there's 3 rounds, you could choose to do an entire round on one side, an entire round on the other side, and just do 1 round where you're switching. If you are not doing this for 30 seconds, you are aiming to do 14 lifts in total. That's 7 per leg. Okay, now the adductor, A-D-D. I'm going to bring that top leg forward. And I don't quite have the knee on the floor, but I am resting the foot on the floor. Now it's that lower leg that's moving. So smaller motion, but if you really focus on it, you're going to feel it squeezing those inner thighs. So same thing, 14 in total, 7 per side. You're going to squeeze and lower down. So exhale, inhale. All right, number 3, the clamshell. So I'm going to take my hip circle, or band, kind of wrap it around my knees, and I'll hold it in place. So I'm on my side, hips stacked, and again, drawing up if I'm going to use my elbow under my shoulder to support myself. And you're going to keep your heels together and open those knees. Picture a clamshell opening. Here we go. I'm just holding that band in place and focusing really on squeezing right at the back of the booty. Awesome place to work on. Okay, here we go. Now, option if you don't have a band, as I said, you can just do it with body weight. In fact, you can even use your hand to press to add a little bit of resistance. If you have a plate or dumbbell, another option for you. I'm just going to balance that on my knee. Another way to add resistance. There we go. So again, 14 in total, 7 per side. And finally, glute bridge. So again, if you have the band, one choice is to put it just above your knees and get into position. Okay. And as I come up, I'm actually going to think about drawing my knees out just a little bit. So I'm right here, I have a straight line from my shoulders to my hips to my knees and lower back down. And up and thinking about squeezing out against that band and back down. If you don't have a hip circle or band, never fear. You can do it without, and this is where your option to add a weight is. So that plate or dumbbell that you had for the clamshells, rest it right on your hips and down. Squeeze. Now you can still, without the band, think about pressing those knees out without actually flaring them open. Just think about it. The movement originating from your heels and pushing out. You just really feel it engaging the sides and the bottom. So different parts of the gluteal muscles. Okay, so That's it. Oh, it's gonna feel good. Okay. Option even to do those leg lifts with a band. That would be a challenge option. So I'll demo that on one of the rounds, but not the first round. So here we go, let's get started. I am gonna draw up for these leg lifts, and we're shooting to do 7 per side, or 15 seconds per side, 14 reps in total, or 30 seconds. Let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, begin. So again, flexing that foot, squeeze, up, squeeze, and down, squeeze. There we go. We're coming up on 15 seconds. Swing it around. Okay. All right, getting ready in 2 seconds to move to the adductor. So drop that front foot forward, and now it's that inner thigh that's gonna work. All right, 15 seconds. Goes quick, doesn't it? It goes quickly. Make sure I'm using the correct adverbs. I'm a big grammar nerd in general. Okay, now we're into the clamshells. So I'm just gonna put a plate on my knee, open and close, open and close, open and close, open and close. All right, at the 15-second mark, we're gonna spin around. Now you can always just roll over. I'm just trying to face the camera. I have these technical opportunities and considerations. Okay, getting ready for the glute bridge. Now if you've added a band at this point, really focusing on lifting those hips high enough that you have a straight line from your knee to your hip to your shoulder, a straight diagonal line, that is. And again, thinking about those knees pressing out. And that's it. 1 round is done. Okay. Next round, I'm gonna challenge myself and add the band. Now these come in different colors that have different resistance levels. So this is one of the lighter ones. So pick one that's appropriate for you. You wanna challenge yourself and then build from there. Okay, 30 seconds left on our break. See, I feel like this workout, I really should have some leg warmers and headbands, maybe even some wrist and ankle bands, those little terry cloth sweat removers. Love a shout out if you know what I'm talking about. By all means, you can tell me, Lauren, I remember those days, I'm not going back. We have 10 seconds left and we're into those leg lifts. Okay, so I've got the band around my ankles if I'm going to add the band option. Okay, and this time I'll demo lying down flat. Here we go. Again, flexing the foot. So I'm not pointing my toes. And making sure those hips are stacked so you're not rolling forward onto the mat. And you're not tipping back. If you need to, you can support yourself with a hand in front of the chest. Now, I didn't cue the 15-second mark. I do apologize because we're doing that whole round, or at least I am, on one side. All right, into the adductor, that little inner thigh lift. Oh yeah, I can really feel that extra squeeze now that I've got the band on. But you can just add that little extra squeeze mentally. There's 15 seconds if you're switching. Just 5 more seconds and we're into our clamshells. Okay, so I'm just gonna move that band up above my knees for the clamshell. Oh yeah. And now you can see I'm drawing up onto the elbow. I could, however, stay down. Now I've got my hand and I can actually feel that muscle working right on the side of the hip. Then our glute bridge is our next. All right, here we go. Plant those heels in, draw the butt up. There we go. I'm gonna focus on really engaging my butt. Pressing those knees out. Time. Okay. Well, they say time flies when you're having fun. So I must be having a lot of fun. So I feel like these workouts are just flying by. I do realize they're 8 minutes. So I've added the tagline, Lauren's 8-minute everything. Minimum time, maximum results. And I really do believe in that. I know it's the premise behind HIIT workouts. And while this is not what I would define as a HIIT workout, it's a great way to squeeze it in. This particular little booty combo, or Tushie toner, call it the floor Tushie toner, I love as an option to add after I've gone for a run, or if I've done maybe a workout where I just didn't feel like I worked these wonderful parts as much as I would have liked. This is a great little bolt on to that option. Okay, 10 more seconds. We're into our last round, and I'm going to switch sides, because I did an entire round on one. I have to do an entire round on the other. Okay. If you want, for fun, point the toe and see how the muscle engagement changes. But remember, what we're aiming for is a flexed foot, straight leg as we come up. 15 seconds, you'd be switching now. If you're not doing it for time, again, 7 reps per side or 14 in total. Then we have the adductor. There we go. $15 seconds now. In 3 seconds, we go to the clamshell. Okay. Pull that band up to my hips. Again, remember the band is just an option. Do all of these exercises with no weight at all. Option here would be to press with your hand, really resist that knee coming up. Bonus then is you're going to get a little bit of a shoulder workout, so the arm is going to be working. All right, in 5 seconds, we're on to the final glute bridge. Here we go. I'm going to do the weight and the band this time. Okay. Woo. Really squeeze it up there. You want to take a little extra pulse, squeeze and down, up, squeeze and down, up, squeeze and down, up, squeeze. Just picture those muscle fibers engaging. Imagine the blood flowing there. Woohoo! See, we spend all that time visualizing and we don't even notice that our exercising time is done. All right. Well, I hope you love that as much as I did. Let me know what else you would like to see as part of Lauren's 8-minute everything, because we've got hashtag Lauren's 8-minute abs, hashtag Lauren's 8-minute arms, hashtag Lauren's 8-minute legs, potentially even a couple that could be called hashtag Lauren's 8-minute butt, and Lauren's 8-minute meals, and hashtag Lauren's 8-minute mindsets. Love to see you using those hashtags on Instagram so I can find you. Feel free to tag me at any time. I'd love to hear from you, thegoldengramgirl@gmail.com, or find me on my Facebook page, The Golden Gram Girl. Have a fit day.